And here we are, YouTube, the granddaddy of my backlog, at least for since maybe the last couple days or maybe the last day. Back with some more Hurricane of the Varstray here on the Type QQ dumpster gaming channel, where we play the very worst on YouTube. But actually, I say that, but we actually damn near beat this game on the Novice Mode. We take it down a little bit just to try out to see how far we go. And with the help of our friends, with the kind folks on the channel, the viewers, really helped out, and I think really, gave some wise advice that actually I think probably added a few more lives onto this run, and really got us the distance along there. Viewer by the name of Lodo Cody, I believe. I apologize if I absolutely murdered that name. But I was inquiring the last run about how we could maybe vacuum up and suck up those stars there. He helped us out with that. So certainly, if we've picked up any sort of bonus points for all those extra stars in this run, it's because of him. And it's kind of why I like the shmup community as well. Newbies and pros all the same. It's a nice bunch, and it's usually, but not always, full of just like veteran gamers that know what it is, how it feels like to start off brand new on your first step, and and they just the community helps each other out, and such is the case with this game. So we were able to back you up a ton of bonus points that I would have never otherwise done. But past that aside, yes, we're on Novice Mode, which is kind of the easier version than we played last time. Same old character with the wide shot, just so we can kind of, chunk down everything that comes our way. And this is the sort of granddaddy of my huge videos that I made in the last couple days. This isn't the longest, but this one certainly is. I guess what I would in some form say was like the main attraction. First time in Novice Mode, and damn near beat the game. I think this game loops, so if you do defeat it, I think it just kind of starts up once more. Maybe it puts you on the higher difficulty. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't make it that far, but we did make it to the final level, and I think maybe some form of the final boss. And then, unfortunately, in those, we kept a lot of stock, we got a lot of lives, but much like other games I've played, once you start losing, once you've lost your momentum, and you just, and you're, kind of like Choren Sha, or I would even say, to a closer effect, the witch bot Megalilo. I forget now how to pronounce that game precisely, but in that game you had certain shields and power-ups. However, it would give you those power-ups and the shields early in the level. If you lost them and respawned, you wouldn't necessarily have. You start off with like a little your rinky-dink starting off default weapon, and you wouldn't have a shield. So it's quite possible in that game where you have, five lives going into the later part of the game, but come across just some stage that's really like has you confused, and bam, 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 bam. You start to really lose lives, and all of a sudden you've got a game over. I wouldn't necessarily say it's to this degree in this game. However, it does have a function where if you have your laser at max, like it says on the side there, it will actually take the brunt of your next hit. I think games like Danmaku Unlimited does that. It's not terribly uncommon that if you have a special gauge up, it will absorb your first shot. That being said, when you're in a tight situation, your first impulse might be to fire off that special laser, trying to finish it off as quick as you can, or also in that mode to pick up your points for your grab buster as well. if you get a grab buster off on a boss, and you get like maybe like 4 or 5 seconds, that boss is going to be melted. So it's very tempting to fire up a laser, collect some points, and just kind of bet on that. Especially in some difficulty where it's like I can't dodge these patterns. They're too fast. They're too hard. I'm like my senses are overloaded. What have you? I need to get this grab buster. I need to just throw myself at the boss and just kill this guy. However, that being said, once you've used your grab buster, you put your laser, you're absolutely open to be just decimated. You especially with a boss where you're not killing thousands and thousands of enemies. You're now by yourself, with virtually, slow-mo charging up your laser. And that's where you find that, bam, 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 all of a sudden you're down 3 or 4 lives. Where where we've seen where we were going to keep like 7 for like 20-something stages. And then all of a sudden it's just going to be like, all of a sudden it's just like, every misstep we make, it's costing us another life. But, first time making it up all the way up to the 24th level, I think if we tighten up our play, and perhaps maybe see some boss patterns for a second time, we could definitely put this away. And that would make me very happy. And caravan shooter, nice long game, but like maybe an hour, maybe 40 minutes or so, 40 minutes to an hour, depending, I guess. Even on Novice to 1cc, that's I think a pretty awesome achievement. I would be pretty happy with, and it would further cement my feelings that I belong on like a normal difficulty. Although I'm not hurt either way of where I fall. I was talking to my friend Jim. He does the Game Bound channel, and I was kind of airing my piece, I suppose. I was saying like the weird predicament I put myself in when I'm doing this channel. It's like I obviously should be a better gamer, but I feel putting up every practice run I do does get boring. So it's kind of like I just kind of wish I was better. But that's going to come with practice, and experience over time. And sometimes, on one video ad nauseum, over and over and over until I finally get it. I don't think he particularly believed me that much. I think it's easy for somebody who doesn't play a lot of this stuff to can look at some of my gameplay and go, Jesus Christ, Type QQ is the best in the world, and I have to be real with him. I'm really not at all. And to be completely honest, I was like, this is where I think I fall. There's usually like 4 tiers of difficulty. We'll say there's like easy, normal, hard, and like lunatic extreme mode. And I was like, I'll tell you where I am and why I feel so uncomfortable is that I think I'm just past easy, but not good enough to complete normal. And it's that sort of that middle area that I like. If I could just consistently be at that normal level, I'd be perfect. I wouldn't say I'd be perfect, but I'd be perfectly happy. That's kind of where my goal is. I don't necessarily want to. I've got it's a huge hill to climb to be, the number one Baka Gaijin, or number one, shmup otaku in the world. There's no way I'm going to do that, especially if I want to showcase more than one game in my lifetime. There's some games I've played all my life that I know I'm not the best at, so it's like I'm not even gonna even attempt that. But what I want to do is play a lot of games and actually, be good enough to, in some time, in a reasonable amount of time, I can be happy with it, beat it, once or twice, on an easy and normal, kind of like what I've done with Neko Navy for the most part. and and be able to move on. You know, the first few videos of it being kind of like growing pains, and then as we get closer to maybe 6, 7, 8 runs, we start to put it together. So not only do we have a sort of series of beating the game, we kind of have like a beginner's guide as well, where not only am I able to beat the game, I'm also experiencing all the stupid mistakes everyone would experience if they're just playing the game for the first time. However, the problem with that, like I was saying, is just I'm not that good. I'm not up to that level quite yet. And that's sort of it's not a frustrating part, but that's just uneasy, I guess is the correct word to say. Because I want to be there at that next step, eventually, in time. And and like things like this, I realize that I'm being impatient, and also this stuff takes a long time. So it's one of those things where I wish I could, like, as I joke sometimes, just like, carve a pentagram in the floor and just go, "Dear Satan, please use me as your vessel to beat these damn video games, and I'll be your unholy thrall forever." That, but because that would be a much easier way than the actual reality of practicing and playing this game a ton until you get the results you want. But I suppose overall, because we, as a community, we've had some dialogue about this, whether or not beating a game has a whole lot of value. And I suppose that's it's pretty insightful if it actually, come to find out, isn't actually that helpful at all. And I don't think necessarily it is in a broader gaming, let's play environment. I would not be the first YouTuber in the world, or the last, that would make a game series and not be able to complete it. However, I think it's a little different. If I could make the judgment, even minorly, or even fractionally, it's different in the sort of shmup community, where it's a sort of it's a single player environment. Aside, essentially, it's a you versus the game, I guess, more than other genres. So, it's not a multiplayer thing. It's not a it's more in your hands. It's more in your control. And I think it's a bit more. I don't want to say like taboo. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a bit more exotic to see someone beaten in a shoot 'em up than it is other games, because these games are so insane and so chaotic, and I would say difficult for anyone who's just grabbing the controller for one of these games to begin with. So it is somewhat of a sort of circus sideshow, with really fanatical with a fanatical fans and a really great community fan base. Although I'm sure a lot of people who do play shmups play a variety of other games, of course. Some shmup fans will tell you, like, or here are like my top 10 vertical scrolling games, or top 10 horizontal, or top 10 twin stick. Here are my favorite 8-bit, 16-bit. Here are my modern ones. They could tell you, they could rattle off their favorite studios, developers. They could go on and on and on. And and that's I'm not sure there's anything like that in any sort of genre. There aren't there's not really an MMO base that people play multiple MMOs. Usually you'll find just the WoW crowd or the Final Fantasy crowd, what have you. Um, and I would say for a lot of genres, you'll find your crowds in like particular games. You have your Call of Duty people. Your Call of Duty people your CS:GO people might not particularly mingle with like Overwatch people or what have you. I don't think shoot 'em ups or shooting games or bullet hells necessarily have a singular community. I would say maybe as an exception, Toho does. Toho has their own sort of community as well within it, but I would say for the most part, there are people who just enjoy the genre on its whole, and I think that's kind of rare. Although I'm sure it's not the only one. I would say it's certainly a genre with a lot of history, a lot of veteran gamers, a lot of people who show a lot of like dedication and obsession and hard work to pull off some really crazy things. Essentially, it's like these are the type of people who have, that you see on like the Dance Dance Revolution pads like 5-10 years ago, just cutting it up and just going crazy, but essentially for their fingers and their eyes. So just some really insane control over the game. And I am I'm at a loss to think of too many genres that have that type of history, legacy, and such a broad appeal that so many people enjoy a lot of different games from this genre, and I would even dare say within a resurgence as well. I would dare. I would make the accusation that I think Steam has become like the place for shoot 'em ups, and it's really kind of opened up the gates to all the classic games because shmups has such a sort of rich history and such a long legacy that digging up these games, putting them on Steam, and people are kind of realizing that, hey, all those games that I used to play when I was younger and that were like, back in the day when I had no money as like a 6-year-old kid, but I had like that Gradius cartridge, so I got my goddamn money out of it by playing it until the cartridge just fell apart. I blew on it once and it just broke like a cracker in my hands, that sort of thing. They're realizing that from nostalgia that the genre is still around, and that people are making games much like they were back then with like pixel art and blah 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 blah. I'm going off. I'm just running and I'm just mouthing off now, but no, it's very cool. Cool genre, cool history, and even cooler if you are into caravan history as well, and tournament history. A good community. Yeah, and I guess even for more shmup community news as well, I'm also on the shmups subreddit, and they just posted the results for the Cho Rensha 68K high score challenge, and it pleases me very much to say that I placed third place. Certainly, I don't. Nowhere in a million years did I ever suggest I was ever going to go first place, and and the people who did place first and second, beat my score by miles. But as much as I rail on myself about where I feel like I place, whether that's like easy plus, I would say, it was at least a good enough effort to place third. And even if there was a sort of Olympic thing and with the sort of three-tiered stance, I really like the idea that I was at least there, and then I wasn't last, and I wasn't even second to last. I came in third, so that that was it was a good time. I certainly enjoyed it, and that's the sort of like tournament competitive scene that I like, where it's I don't necessarily have to shoot down my opponents. I don't have to compete with them head on. It's just how well we know the game, how well we can execute our sort of plan and strategy when it comes to the game. And I gave Cho Renshaw a lot of free time, and we got maybe like 10 runs out of it, maybe 9 or 10. And it helps out that I really enjoyed the game as well. It's no wonder it's such a sort of independent Japanese classic, and why so many people worked hard to kind of revive it in 2017, where it was first made in like 1995. So, and plus the music is amazing. I'm not sure who composed the music, if it was just a sort of one-man show or just independent composers. But some of those tracks I could confuse for classic Capcom tracks, from Mega Man and the like. They're really great, and it's a solid, simple, amazing game that requires some skill and patience, I would say. A really cool powering up system as well. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about right there. That sort of grab buster melts. It just melts. But yeah, what else is going on? The Steam summer sale is still going on. I don't know why that's such a hard phrase to say. I've started some videos with that phrase, and it's embarrassing to say how many times I've just canned or had to redo like some audio track because I can't say Steam summer sale. It's not even like a tongue twister. It's just 3 words that begin with S. I have no idea. But yeah, we've picked up not only this game, which has certainly been my favorites thus far. We picked up Shooting Stars, which was kind of like whatever. For the pennies on the dollar I dropped that game, I'm like, I guess I can't be too angry. But it is very much a sort of like, I paid for a Flash game, essentially. A near bare bones experience just to shoot some stale memes. And then recently picked up Dandy, which has been a game I've had my eye on just because I enjoy the sort of design and aesthetics of it. But that one hasn't really turned out particularly amazing. Better than that other shit game I was talking about, but not by, it doesn't compare to this game, that's for sure. The biggest problem with Dandy, if you even believe me, is that it's a horizontal scrolling, so from right to left, and you have your character, Dandy, I suppose his name is, shooting gumdrops, sort of a shit, but he can't move left or right, just up and down. So, and I feel that's the Achilles heel of it all, where it's kind of like, I could play better if I had, another another axis of movement. But, oh well. Again, for pennies on the dollar. Here's stage 12. There's a little strange event that happens at the end of stage 12. We'll get to that. Yeah, we're sitting at is that 7? That looks like 7 to me, unless it is a number beyond the digits on my right hand, so it's quite possibly too high of a number for me to count. But again, yes, I don't think I would be at this point in the game and with that many lives without the help of the community here. Very cool stuff. My thanks as always. And I as much as I like, viewership and thumbs up body parts, I like to communicate as well, even if it is just random, shit posting and just whatever, I like to, I want to get feedback, I always like to get feedback, whether, move on, this game sucks, get good, scrub, or, although this game sucks, let's play more of it, because it's just funny and I want to torment you, that sort of thing. I've talked to, I've talked to friends about this channel before, and I know there's no way I'm going to get, a bazillion, subscribers, and I'm not really playing that game. I'm not looking to do more than what a loyal fan base wants, So I'm perfectly fine with small numbers of fans, and we can just kind of go back and forth, and just share thoughts and opinions. So we got a second form of boss here with that little achievement that says, "Is it finally over?" or something to that effect. So I want to say this is some sort. I think this is a final boss of some version, but I don't know. Don't hold me to it quite yet. We'll see. I'll show you what happens when this guy goes down. But here's what I mean. Check this out. I'm not sure if we're going to get hit, but you see how we just got hit. Our meters went down. And somehow we're not dying. We're getting real close to being killed there, but our next hit will kill us. The steadiest hand in the world. Jesus, I guess so. You made me effing pissed off. Okay. So here we are. Welcome to It's Normal for a Fighter. Sorry you're such a sergeant. Novice finish. Okay. Shit, I missed that before. And that said, like, would you like to complete a new dimension or something like that? So I think this is a second loop. I'm not sure. Or this is on the higher difficulty? I don't know. However, it is stage 13, and I thought there was 24 levels. However, through those achievements, I think we beat Novice. What we'll do, again, is I think we'll go through Novice again, just so I can get my 1cc video, and just say, no, we won't continue on. But I think we beat it, ? I'm not sure, at least Novice Mode. And we almost beat the second loop of it, I guess is what I should be saying. We got to the last level of the second loop. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just dumb, I guess is what it is, And that's why I appreciate, such a welcoming, awesome community. Because I'm fucking stupid and I need help, I can hold a shoot button. I can move my ship. But, like, honestly, that's the furthest of my brain capacity sometimes. I mean, that's why this isn't a sort of like League of Legends gaming channel. I can't be trusted to do multitasking. You know, I have to just, you know, give me a bullet pattern, and I'll do my best to get through it. That's all. But, you know, if we actually did just clear Novice Mode, which is actually kind of funny, watching the video again for the first time, I didn't even notice it before. You know, then that's extra thanks, because I don't think I could have done it without you know, the community here. You know, especially with let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, Moto Cody, who gave me the heads up of actually you know, when you're firing your laser to let off on the fire button. So, you know, you can almost tap the fire button instead, and that vacuums in all your shots. So, you know, if for any reason, you know, we lasted longer than we should, you know, it's because of you know, subs and community members like him. And I honestly hope it's not the first time, you know, or rather, I hope it's not the last time, I guess is the correct way of saying that. That somebody's like, hey dipshit, you know, this may help you, and it actually does in a huge way. The only thing I think is left that I need to figure out in this game is that I have my sub weapons there in the top left. You can see I'm on sub unit 1 with my laser. I have to find out what maniac key that's bound to, whether it's my fucking open parentheses or my left bracket or what have you, you know, because it's initially bound to a controller button, and I have to find what that controller button is on my keyboard. I've really had a hard time rebinding the keyboard. You can rebound the controller easy. It just tells you to fuck off when it comes to rebinding the keyboard. Unless I'm stupid, and that certainly is a possibility. And as I check the time on our video, we are, holy shit, only halfway through. I don't have anything to really share anymore. I think I've talked about it. I talked about everything already. Not to mention, you know, I was just rambling on for an hour and 20 minutes with the finale of I Saw Android Cactus as well. So I'm just not that of an exciting guy to talk for 2 hours 30 minutes in a day. Good God. We're still at 7 lives though. I'm interested to see where we might get 8, if unless 7's the max. You know, I really honestly don't know, but you know, there's some huge payouts here. Yeah, just good stuff. Absolutely, just direct hit right between the eyes, all right there. Nope. Speaking of such, there it is. We got a 1-up off the map itself, so that does bring us up to 8. And I really think this is actually a pretty awful time to use that weapon. We pretty much just emptied our defenses right before the boss. Pretty freaking stupid if you ask me. You know, I certainly don't trust trust my skill to avoid not getting fucking murdered. But it looks like we were able to fill up our laser gauge up to its maximum capacity. Although, like, it did take the whole boss fight to pretty much do so. So, still, stupid move to fire that off, you know, on just, like, little no-name bad guys that, you know, not worth the laser. You know, and just to go in bare-ass naked to the boss, essentially, you know, not without even giving yourself, you know, a little bit of breathing room. My fucking speakers are dying to that noise. It's just like just a collection of just explosions. Yeah, I don't. Oh wow, how did we fill up that meter in time? That was wild. I thought we were toast. Oh, R.I.P. dude. Sorry. Give me those bonus points. Just what is going on? All the money. Give me all the money. Oh, and just like that, like a fucking hammer right down to the front of my ship. You know, we effectively just used our bomb before this boss because his very first like attack just knocked off our shield. Knocked off our shield again. There we go. And a much deserved death there, I feel. Although, right before the boss died, so maybe not. Maybe we could have held out a little bit longer. Stage 17. We're getting there. And to be honest, during this play, I didn't remember exactly where in the 20s it was. I thought it was either 24, 25, or 26. And I couldn't remember what the exact number was. So when I was at 24, I didn't necessarily feel it was the final stage. It only was brought to my attention afterwards when I kind of looked into it. And I was like, oh shit, did I really just do that? But it's not the first or the last time we've taken a game to the final level just to, you know, shit our pants. Yeah, and this actually might be, to a lesser extent, no, I wouldn't say here. I think we're okay here. I think it was in the 20s we started to feel a little bit of the sort of momentum, you know, kind of slow down and drift away. I think we just lost a random life here for no particular reason. But it did feel like for a moment there we were kind of over our heads. Again, such a stupid move to... Of course, I guess, you know, I never know exactly when the boss is going to show up, and bam, just like that. How about that? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you leave yourself open to just get mauled when you're stupid and just leave your... You shoot your bomb off and shoot your eye out, you know, just before the boss. That's mental. I mean, you do get a sort of laser bonus there at the end for the number of times you shot your laser, but I don't think it's that big of a bonus to really worry about entirely. You know, if you can manage a no hit or you know a no miss or a no damage, that's a lot better than firing your laser off the time. I think we were actually hit out of that laser. Something that quick came down and hit us, I believe. Just massive. And I think again when we were there, we were possibly knocked out of it. I mean, that's just how much craziness and offensive there is from this game at this level, at these levels, these deeper in levels. But yes, I do have another topic to talk about. Some of my friends have gone to a sort of anime gaming video game convention, I suppose, just in the last couple of days. Seen it on Twitter and got their got their text as well. And you know, primarily they went to sort of promote their like Dungeons and Dragons podcast and video series they're producing, as well as Gamebound, and you know, it really got my gears moving. I was like, maybe that's something I should consider like next year. I mean, granted, you know, I'll have some restrictions to that. You know, I've you know, personal family matters that may interfere, but you know, who knows? You know. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be really be worth it. I don't know if the sort of, you know, anime gaming crowd is into this type of stuff, but I would imagine so. You know, there's a lot of, you know, Japanese shmups, and you know, Toho is rather large with a group of people as well. So who knows? Who knows? It certainly got my my gears twisting. What's the word? What's the word? Got my brain flowing. Listen. We're at minute 45. I'm really not thinking of any sort of proper proverb for this situation. But yeah, it has me thinking whether or not that's something I should consider. Level 19 boss. And there's something that oh, that's such a hard pattern. It's not so bad now, but yes, there's something that I like about this character that Ooh, fucking just getting mauled. I like how far her spread shot goes for these particular fights in general, where you can take down all the sort of gun batteries on these bosses without going too far. You know, granted, you know, it's not the highest amount of damage you know, a character can dish out, but it's certainly the you know the least required movement, and that's kind of, I think, where my comfort kind of stays a bit. You know, I don't mind staying in a pattern a little bit longer if I can focus on you know, the micro movements of it, other than, you know, having to worry about moving from left to right. You know, like a game like Shorin Sha would do, where you know, that game loves to bounce you from one side of the screen to the next. You know, almost to the point where you're almost out of habit, just bouncing back and forth. You know, it's got a really great sort of flow and feel to it, where, you know, it's not just you know, a level of chaos and just random enemies, but you know, it's timed out to be played in a sort of rhythm, I would say. You know, in a weird sort of way, where you know, if you got a run that's really working, you can get really pumped from not just the game, but like from, you know, the way the game's being played. You know, you can kind of feel that this rhythm is working for you back and forth, and yeah, you can get pretty psyched about it. Or at least I have. You know, it certainly feels like you've uncovered, you know, the puzzle or the secret of how to play this game again. And yet again, like a damn asshole, we've walked into this boss with no defenses and immediately died, like we should have. You know, if we go for if we do this again, I mean, that's going to be my number one key point to improve, is to not go into these bosses with our pants down. You know, that's just absolutely stupid. I mean, just imagine, you know, we'll see how close I was to beating the level 24th boss, just to see what could have happened if we just if we didn't die in manners like we did in this beginning of this fight, and like a couple before. On stage 21 now, where we have 6 lives, so it looks like we've picked some up along the way. I believe, at least. And you can see why with some of these huge payouts. Good God. And that's really going to be, like, I think, if you want my honest opinion on my shmup skill, my weakest, I think my weakest statistic, ability, my weakest ability, is dealing with speed. You know, any game that has like fast bullets, you know, like Raiden, fucks me so hard. I get ruined. You know, I much prefer this sort of speed. This is a perfect speed. And even something like that, is fine, but you know those things that come really fast. You know, I need. You know, I really make bad choices if it's got to be something that quick and that spontaneous. During my play of Raiden Overdrive, I grew increasingly frustrated just because the bullets were fucking orange. So as I'm shooting out orange bullets, it's shooting back orange bullets, and I'm like, and fast ones too. So I'm like, fuck, man, this game is hardcore. You know, and it's a great game. However, I just, you know, it's one of those games that just is, you know, I play a lot worse than I should, and I just get super frustrated real quick. However, I'm excited for the new director's cut writing that's coming out. We'll certainly be playing that. I would hope. I would hope that we've gotten a little better since our last Raiden playthrough, and we can, you know, do well in that game. I hope at least. But you know, Raiden does have a way of just ruining my shit. But yeah, stage 22. We don't have too much further to go, and we got 5 lives. But I think we'll all see where the sort of momentum kind of drifts away, and you know, we kind of hit like we hit on like an E tank, you know, or not necessarily hitting an E tank, but where our tank's on E. What's up, wild dog? And my dog behind me growling and talking to the couch. What's up, bud? Oh well. That's just my wild and crazy family is all. Yeah. That's what he said. Again, being pretty silly with our bombs, coming in here and just getting mauled instantly. Yeah, and it's that sort of gun battery there on the far left. There we go. We finally took it down. But that's what the problem is. You want to talk on this? Come over here and talk to everybody if you want to talk. And for those that are just baffled, yeah, I pretty much have a dog that knows like 3 English words. It's a little bizarre. Hey, buddy. What do you think about me finishing stage 22? Okay. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be the general consensus. I mean, I still have a couple lives left, if that matters. Does that matter to you? No? Not really? Okay. You know what? You're just like all the other mean people on YouTube. I'm putting that thumbs down on your back talk. I'm not even going to reply to it. You're just trolling me. My dog's looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about, human? But yeah, we once had 7 lives. We're down to 2. Playing against, playing horribly in some boss fights will certainly do it. Rush, rush, rush. something happened. We got achievement killing like 250 guys at the same time. I don't know. Hey, buddy. You know what? I think we're at 9 minutes left. After 9 minutes, we'll go outside and we'll take a lap around the house. Does that sound fine? Sound fine to you? Does that adhere to your dog rules? Oh shit, we just got melted again. Down to our, I would guess, second to last life, because we probably have a life at 0 stock. Lucky dodge there. Ooh, and not so lucky dodge there. And a death there at the last second of the boss. So yeah, some real foolish, stupid stuff. You know, if we can just hold it in, you know, and not being killed at the very moment the boss fight starts because of a bad laser rather, and then like not dying as soon as the boss is dead, you know, we would probably do pretty well. What do you think, Pup? And that's it. That's going to be our 1cc. Officially dead there. But yeah, we do continue on. We commit the sin of being a wretched credit feeder. Boo this man. Boo this man. But I figured, at the very least, if we had a level at 25 or 26, you know, we should see it out. So we play a little bit longer, you know. Another pretty bad bomb. I mean, it turns out to be okay here. We got a lot of bonus points here. However, it did start. We did waste maybe a couple seconds in the beginning of it. But I feel as we see the structure of the ship kind of go away, I wonder if it's... No, maybe not. Oh, lost another life here. Pretty tricky pattern if you're in between the two stacked on top of each other. See, there's a couple patterns in this boss fight. So there goes another CC. So, you know, we can't even say, you know, oh shit, we were close. No, we're not really that close. You know, we actually died a little bit earlier than what I remembered. We didn't necessarily go to the last boss like I had initially thought, but more or less just in this stage. I don't even know how we fucking died to that. It's pretty sad. But yeah, this pattern is madness, absolute pandemonium. Yeah. So there goes another credit, just being an absolute scumbag. And of course, there's another form. And you can kind of feel here what I mean, where, you know, if you don't necessarily have any sort of, you know, stamina or sticking power with a sort of laser in the gauge there, you know, you're gonna get you just feel like the sort of momentum sapped out of you, and you're just losing life after life after life. Bad move there, and yet another credit gone. Absolute scumbag. Downvote this video, not downvote rather, but that's Reddit. Thumbs down this video. Oh no. Oh no, and here comes the two speed bullets. That would do me in every time. But we make it through because we're invincible. What do you think? What do you think, puppy? Did we play bad? Well, I'm talking to you. Did we play really bad at the end? I think we kind of played bad throughout. And we could have tightened up the end, perhaps, if we didn't mess up so much throughout the game. Right, Red? Right, buddy? He's like, I just want to go outside and piss, dude. But we made it to, you know, maybe 4 or 5 CC. It got real ugly at the end. And then, you know, and here's some credits. So it is 24 levels. I'm not sure what happens after that 12th level with the sort of, would you like to go to an alternate dimension? I'll have to look into it and see what all that meant. But I think next on the docket is to just play those 12 levels and say no. I guess that's the best way to find out. So expect that soon. Maybe it'll be a 20-minute video instead of a hour-long video. My God. But you know, at least we got this done, and hopefully we can tighten up our play and not have to torture ourselves and our poor viewers with too many giant ass videos. I know there's like a lot of homework to do now between this and Assault Android Cactus. It's like the Fellowship of the Ring, you know, extended edition on my stupid YouTube. My God. It's like, do I hate you guys really that much to have you watch that much crap? Jesus. That's why I need to get good, just so I can, you know, take some pity upon you guys and not have you guys watch endless hours of this stuff. Amato Junka. That's very close to a vegetable drink. And I think these are the credits rounding out. I think they're about done. It comes to this point here. Showing up logos and all that. To be continue. I got an achievement for fighting through. And really, 23rd place, I'll certainly take it. So that's going to be it for this run. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and do all that stuff, and we'll do this again.